What's up, guys? It's Rengawr. Today I'm dropping the .15 wipe guide. We're going to be talking about everything that I use to level up fast from this wipe upcoming on August 20th. Now, before we jump into this is just a guide to help you level up quick. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to watch this, don't follow this. This guide will be very useful for anyone either new to like a fresh wipe, or honestly, if you're someone who can't play very much, you're going to have a lot of things to like help you throughout this wipe. I play a lot whenever the wipe happens, like chronically online amounts of time. So I hit max traders in like 4 or 5 days, which I'm not saying that you should even set a goal for yourself. It kind of like, it does kill the wipe a little bit, but I do like doing it at the same time. So it's like a double-edged sword for me. But if you can't play very much, this guide's going to teach you about efficiency. So you're not wasting hours and hours of time, which I honestly think is important if you work a job or you go to school. Because when I started playing fresh wipes in this game, I was in college full time. So like I came up with these strats myself, so I wasn't wasting hours of my like time gaming. I want to get through the quest so I can like PvP and stuff. So we're going to jump into everything that's new this wipe, and then we'll talk about everything I used to level up quick. But before I get into that, I kind of want to talk about all the new stuff that is coming this wipe. Obviously, we don't know everything, but there are quite a few changes that happened in the last 3 months to the game that are going to substantially change the way that you go through early wipe. The biggest probably being the fact that Flea Market no longer has a found and raid requirement, which means that quest keys are going to be substantially cheaper. So you don't need as much of a money float or to make consistent money to get through your quests fast, because what's going to happen is now that you can buy your key for like 200 to 300k, use it one time, get your quest done, put it back on the market for almost the exact same price. So you're maybe like renting a key for like 15k, the flea market fee every time. So that's going to be a huge help when it comes to leveling up and getting through like quests like getting into West 306 and getting vitamins and that stuff done. Huge change, going to be honestly great as long as they keep it. As far as I know, it's going to stay. It's not an event. So I'm hoping to see it still in the game. The next thing is going to be the fact that armor is substantially better than it was at the start of last wipe. It might even be a little bit overtuned. Now, the reason that I want to mention this is because you can be on the lookout for high-level armor plates, because a lot of the vests that you can get early on or even find commonly on scavs can fit these plates. If you look at a slick from Ragman, they have the like standardized normal plates, right? These like I don't know, like rectangular-ish shaped plates. These fit in a ton of armors, and you can find class 4 through 6 of them decently commonly in stashes, weapons, supply boxes, stuff like that. Good examples of armors that have slots for these plates are going to be like your TV 110s, right? These fit these. You don't have side plates, you have the front plates. That's kind of cool. I believe the M2 rigs also fit these, as well as an AVS. You even have options to earlier armors like Karasa off level 2, as well as the Thor body armor off level 2 for a barter. It's just 2 diaries. Or you even have the option to get the press vest. They can also fit these. So if you find like a tier 4, 5, 6, which really aren't that hard to find, like if you find an HPC armor in a stash, these come with super lightweight level 5 plates. And then what I would do is I would just use level 5 front plate on an armor and like a bad back plate. And then I would have like, I'd save the other plate for another armor when I died. So I'd use both these plates for 1 armor each. So I have like the best chest protection possible. And these repair great. It's a huge buff. Armor is so much better than it was. So make sure you're wearing a good armor whenever available. And anything that wears plates is so much better than things without plates. Now the other thing is kind of obvious, but if you haven't played for a while, recoil is substantially better than it has been for like the last 2 years, in the sense of it's way lower, as well as camera recoil, so your screen shaking when you shoot, your sight jumping, and also the like way your gun flinches when you get hit has been like heavily reduced. So using a lot of stock guns, even single fire guns, and spamming them feels really good. So if you can get your hands on like a stock ADAR or like maybe even like an AK, like they're not that bad if you single fire them, or even if you shoot them in bursting, which isn't bad. It used to be really bad. Now it's not bad to burst shots anymore because the way recoil works. Honestly, all you kind of need is like a sight on most of these guns early on, so I wouldn't waste too much money modding them. Obviously, mod your heart out if you want to, but keep that in mind that most gun builds are really not going to be very like crazy, and you have a lot more ops early on, especially because the Mosin got the ammo nerfed last wipe. You have worse ammo on earlier traders, and you don't really need sniper skill anymore for those early quests. they kind of got rid of that, so you don't have to Mosin grind, and then all of the like Kappa sniping quests just get you the sniper skill required anyway. So I'm not even going to use the Mosin this wipe, I don't think. Maybe a little bit, but I might try like M4s and 8Rs and AKs and stuff and see what I like, you know? I'll make a whole video on loadouts. I'm going to go test some things and tell you what I'm going to use, but for now, I wouldn't worry about that. Now, USEC versus Bear. Personally, I always choose USEC. I think that the player sounds, like in your own ear from your own character, are a little bit too ridiculously loud, and the Bear ones are super exaggerated, especially when you're out of stamina. Like, I just can't hear anything. It gives me a headache. I can't stand it, man. So I'm just going to go USEC. The only real difference is like the weapon types. Like you get like obviously Russian type weapons when you're a Bear, American types when you're a USEC. I don't think it's that big of a deal, honestly. Pick what you think is coolest, whatever you like. Like the Bear clothes more, like honestly, who cares? It's not that big a deal. USEC's a little bit easier on Lighthouse. Bear does get that like bonus with the BTR where like I think things are cheaper and you get more space right away, which could be helpful early wipe. I'm not sure, honestly, what the cost benefit is to being Bear for that. I don't care enough, so I'm just going to use that because it's like less annoying. That's that. The next thing would be what we call big picture tasking. Now, if you ever watch one of these guys before, you know exactly what that is. But what I'm going to show you is if you go to Google and look up Tarkov Quests EFT Wiki, click on this first link right here, and you're going to go to this page. Now, this page shows you every quest from all the traders. What I care about here is this picture right here. All you're going to do is middle mouse click on it, open it in a new tab, full screen, and you get a list of every single item and key required for every task in the game. Now, this is great because we can actually work on all the quests at the same time instead of just doing them one by one. Because you know in Tarkov, get on a quest and you got to collect 5 items. Getting those 5 items can take like 5 to 20 raids that you're wasting on one quest. But from level 1, if we're looking for all of these items right away, when we get to the quest, you can turn in like 3 or 4 quests in a row without even going into a new raid. Makes your progress that much faster. So anything highlighted in green is things that have to be found in raid with a check mark. Anything that's not like that, you can just buy off the flea market. And obviously the keys we talked about, you can buy them, use them, sell them back. No problem. That's all I really have for here. The quest items do go in order. So like for therapists, you need 3 Salewas, and then you need 3 gas sands, then 4 morphine. So you get an idea of like when something is more important than something else. That's pretty much the majority of what I have for this. I'll link this down below, or again, you can just look up Tarkov Quests EFT Wiki and find this page right here. The next thing I want to talk about is going to be avoiding dead-end quests. Now, I talk about this all the time, but dead-end quests are quests that go nowhere. And the reason that they're not worth focusing on is because if you're stuck on 10 quests and you work on a dead-end quest, cool, you got it done, but now you have 9 more quests that you didn't do already, right? Didn't go anywhere. It was kind of pointless to do, you know? You can always just do it later when it's like more convenient for you. So, for example, if you look at this from the Tarkov Quests wiki page, there is a chart that shows you all the quests in like a spider web format. So you see where like they all lead to. You can look down a list for Prapor, for example. You have shooting cans, then you have debut, then you have search mission and luxurious life. Now, search mission was actually my last quest for Kappa this wipe. I just forgot to do it. And I did it while I was like looking for the goons, I believe. And I did it the raid I killed the goons. And that was it. That was my last quest, technically. So those are quests where if you don't have a reason to go to that map, you probably shouldn't focus on it unless you're like about to hit flea market or to get like a trader leveled up and you just want to get like a new gun or attachment or like access to new backpacks, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So Hideout Picnic's a great one where you have to kill a bunch of scavs on woods. Now, this quest takes a little while early on because your skills are terrible. You can't run very far. And other people are also killing scavs. And it doesn't go anywhere. So it's like you're spending like, you know, 30 to an hour and a half on this quest to like go nowhere. When you can just wait to do it until you have to, I don't know, kill bosses or like kill Sherman, for example. And you can just do the scavs while you're killing Sherman. Or you can do this while you're doing Junkie for Jaeger, which is like to kill scavs while you're on stim effects, you know? So there's no point to do these quests unless you have to, or like they're just there. You know, if I'm on woods and I'm doing quests anyway and I'm just by the camp and the caravan, like I'll just go do it to get it done because I'm right there. Save me some time. But if you don't have a reason to be there, like avoid those quests to save you some time. The next thing I want to talk about is going to be using your hideout. Hideout isn't crazy important, but the upgrades do help you out early on. The main one is going to be the fact that you have to craft the 60 round mags for this Prapor quest. Well, you don't have to craft them, right? You can find them. But for me, it's like every other wipe, I get so stuck on these ice cream cones. I can never find these. So getting your bathroom to like level 2 ASAP is really helpful because now you can craft these, and it's like 2 or 3 hours to craft the bathroom up to that point, and then it's like an hour and a half, hour 40 per mag. It's a long time. So getting this out of the way ASAP is huge so you don't get stuck on this quest line. I hate this quest line, but it happens to the best of us sometimes. Using that to your full advantage, looking out for hideout items. They're even worth a lot of money too. So you can even like utilize your gamma in the sense of now, because when you die, you can still flea market things that are not found in raid. You can just pick up items you know are worth money for the hideout, put them in your gamma, and then sell them on the market for big money, like a car battery, for example. Or, I don't know, like light bulbs, wires, things like that. I do want to talk about inventory management, because a lot of people have a lot of trouble early on with inventory management. You can obviously buy stash space online through the website if you want to do that. I'm sure most people will. I'm not saying I'm going to do that, but it's an option. I'm going to throw it out there. I don't care either way. But that chart that I gave you of all of the items needed for quests, you can double check every item you have and like maybe like keep a little organized area for them, or even a junk box, and like sort it out so you know exactly what you need and you don't overkeep items, because most people like over hoard things for quests. And with that chart, you can know exactly what you need at all times and get rid of anything extra to make some extra money. And on top of that, with level 1 Jaeger, once you unlock him, you can buy the rig. Now, I use this for space all the time because the takes up 12 slots and it holds 16. So every you buy gives you 4 slots. So they're not too expensive. You can buy 3 a reset. You can just pick them up and put them in like this. I just go like 1, 2 and rotate 1. And now right here, you just made 12 slots for free. You can just keep doing that. There's other rigs that do it as well, like the commandos early on. You can just look and just count space on them. But this is huge. Something else you can do with pretty much any weapon, which I'm sure most of you know this, but you just go here, you take the pistol grip off and the mag out, and the gun will lose so many slots, right? So it's a huge way to save space. I recommend you don't hoard anything that you can buy back easily. A lot of people keep like cheese and like S marches and bandages and things, and like those cheap meds, you can sell them to therapists for almost what they buy for and just save a bunch of space that way. Same thing with guns too. If I'm out of space, like I will just sell a bunch of weapons that I don't think I'm going to use right away, and I'll buy them back later when I want them. So if you need space, I would focus on that. You can even ditch armors and just keep the plates as well. Contacts are a good thing to ditch as well. Anything like that. Anything you could buy back, don't be afraid to sell. Buy it back later. That'd be my recommendation for that. Use the these other rigs to save space. It's a huge help. Now, I'm going to quickly mention abusing insurance. Insurance is great early on because it essentially lets you carry more weight. Because early on, right, we know that our skills are going to be terrible. You can't carry much. You can't sprint for very long. It's very annoying to be overweight. So what I always do is I insure everything, every raid. And if I kill a player, I kill a scav with something that I want, like I will throw my whole loadout in a bush and take everything from them, because it just lets you recycle the gear. You know, you can keep it all to have it again in my insurance, while also going ahead and taking out their stuff to use it for future raids or sell it to make money, whatever it is. Now, something most people don't know is you can actually insure through therapist, which is really useful if you have the worst version of the game, because the insurance comes back faster, but it also lasts longer through therapist. And insurance actually scales based off of like your trader levels for some reason. So like the lower level trader you are, the cheaper it actually is to insure things. So you shouldn't be afraid to insure anything like below level 20. It's all kind of like ridiculously cheap to do it. And then your friends can throw your gear and you can get it back. You know, like maybe you die to like a 4-man and your buddy can't carry all the gear. Like he could just throw your gear and, you know, maybe he'll sauce you a gun and it's like, here you go. Sorry you died. Get your stuff back. You get a new gun for the next raid. You're good to go. So if you're struggling for space, consider insuring through therapist. Anything you ditch, you'll get back and you can hold it for a week. Then you can have time to make space or run through your gear. Especially if you can't play very often, it's a great way to do it. Or you can just go through normal Prapor, and I just do that and I just ditch my stuff to cycle it back through for the next day. So very useful, especially when like you're trying to make money. If you replace your whole kit and then you die, your kit's already in the corner. So even though you died, you still get that kit back, right? So, worth looking into. Something really important to talk about really quick is going to be early quest keys. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but the machinery key in dorms for the Bronze Pocket Watch quest, that is a guaranteed spawn. People wait to buy that off the fleet or get lucky off a scab. If you go on second floor of 3-story dorms, I believe it's room 203. It's the conjoining rooms with the bed. You have to jump over. If you go on the side that faces 2-story dorms, that brown jacket spawns the machinery key every single raid. It's there every raid, and if it's not there, someone took it already. Look out for that. There's also a lot of barters for like early keys. Tarkov Victor's Office key is a barter. The price of it actually got changed this wipe, which is really nice. It is 1 squash, 2 army crackers, and 1 ice green tea. Now you can honestly get the squash and the green tea from the back of like Goshan in 1 raid, and the crackers are just on scavs, or you can get them like from the big brown like food boxes. Like, this is really easy to get and get those quests on early from level 1 therapist. On level 2 therapists, if you still don't have it, there is a barter for 4 gold chains you could do. That's obviously up to you, whatever you want. There is a barter for the 206 key as well. It is 7 piles of meds. Now, if you can't get 7 piles of meds, it's a barter for piles of meds. You can do 3 lighters and 2 matches. So you can do 4 Visa reset, and you can get these from filing cabinets. So if you are only missing 2 of these and you want to do the barter, you can scavenge for these, do the barter, and get this. You can obviously buy the crackers off therapist too, obviously. I don't know if these are quest locked. I believe that you have to barter for them early on. I forget if this is quest locked here or not. But either you can buy these or you can do the barter for this, which is 1 piles of med. Something like that. But getting this key is really easy. Now, they also do have a 303 key, which is 7 T-plugs and 3 blue tape. I try not to do this one because you need a lot of T-plugs for the farming quest line, and then I like never have enough to do both. But if you ever just need it, not a big deal. Do the barter, get this key, get cracking. And then you also do have the portable bunkhouse key, which is a fantastic barter. This used to never be a barter, and they added it because people couldn't stand looking for this key. It's just 1 Vita juice, 1 milk, and 1 TP. So honestly, for like most of these barters, you can just be hitting food spawns and save these items. So you can get a lot of these quest keys. Then I believe on level 2, there's a 220 barter as well. Yes, this one right here, which is a very annoying quest as well. It is 1 buckwheat, 1 aqua peps, and 5 piles of meds. Now, aqua peps, if you don't know, it just spawns in like med boxes, honestly. So the big brown med boxes or the like orange ones, whatever works for you, you can find those. Buckwheat just kind of spawns where like industrial stuff spawns, and piles of meds, obviously in med boxes, right? Or you can do the barter from level 1 therapist. But a lot of these are all really important keys to get because they are, for most of your early quests, they're going to lock you early. And then if you get flea market, obviously you can just buy these. And then there is dorm room 114 key, which is needed for the pharmacist quest. That spawns in the blue jacket in the back of the car at the sniper checkpoint on customs. It's where you would mark the 2 UN trucks for that Peacekeeper quest. So inside that jacket, there's a chance to spawn. Some wipes, I find a bunch of them. Some wipes, I can't ever find that key. But it is needed for an early therapist quest. So whenever you buy that jacket, I would just check it if possible. Now, it is going to be a high traffic area, so I'd keep that in mind when checking it. You can always like press F and prone while looting it, but those are all very important things. And I think that kind of wraps up my guide, honestly. I do want to make a guide for all the loadouts I want to use. I'm going to put that together. I hope that this video was helpful explaining like all the things that I'm going to be doing to level up. If you want like more in-depth things, I have a Max Trader series on my YouTube you can watch through. Now, obviously, the game has changed since that series went on, but a lot of like the way I approach the majority of those quests is still the same. It might give you an idea and a game plan of how to start the wipe. Now, when it comes to like a starting map, I'm going to go ground zero probably, but you could obviously not go ground zero, get some early quest items, and then go back ground zero to knock out those like 5 intro quests that block everything else. It's up to you. I think either strat is fine. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I might go ground zero. I might skip those quests for like the first 4 or 5 raids and then go back when I have like some wins under my belt. It really depends, but that was the guide, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions during the wipe, come by, drop some questions. Thank you, man. Bye.